and welcome back to the AustinTalks review, where today we are going over the review of the series of The Moon Knight. I don't know why I forgot that for a second. So these are how, because I have only done 3 movie reviews. This is the first series review on the channel. So very, very different, and I know how I'm gonna function them throughout every time we do one, but this is how it will go down. And this will be the same for Miss Marvel, and I'll have another podcast out for later on, which shall be which one was it going to be? Well, it was definitely not going to be that one. Oh, yes, I now remember. Yes, I do remember it now, what the next podcast will be. But anyway, we are here to talk about Moon Knight. Sorry for if you've seen my Doctor Strange one. I did not have a label on it. I just had the AustinTalks thumbnail. I have changed it for Moon Knight, so my apologies in regards to that. And yeah. So first of all, who was Stephen Grant in this series? In the comics, he is a millionaire. He's a millionaire, and he's a lot of money, and he's one of the personalities for Moon Knight. But in this series, he's a vegan. Yeah, which I found that weird. He's a vegan, and he is working in a museum and constantly looking like he has had no sleep. And then you find out he doesn't really have a lot of sleep. Yes, I have drinks with me, and for those who don't know, the day of this release, this is my final day of COVID. It's my final day. So thank God for that. And I would like to apologize for why this has taken so long. I had a 2-week offing with because my brother was over. But I've also, as if you haven't seen my last one, in the summer I can take the microphone with me because I'm still recording on the same device, so I can record over the summer. Maybe with my brother, maybe not. Depends on how we go. If we can, because a lot of people have actually now come in with me. Come in contact with me asking to be on the podcast, so I now have a lot of that planned. So yeah. Now next thing is, how does Khonshu work? I always read the reviews after a series, and this one confused me. Is that, how does Khonshu work? Does he terrify Stephen Grant and not and not Mark? The difference between them is, like, Stephen Grant doesn't exactly know what is going on. He's more like, what? Who's going on? Like, who is this? Why am I all of a sudden blacking out? It's more, he's not used to it. He doesn't actually know who he is, and blah 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 blah. But like, Mark Spector does know what he's doing. See what happens when I have a big meal. I'm now tired. And I would just like to say about the suit designs. Oh my gosh, did they nail it? They've really nailed the suit. You could say it's very, what's the word? It's very different. It's very different, but it also it's natural, because it's like real ribbons, and it's also like rustic and true to Egypt, which is quite cool. We did see a lot of Egypt in this series, which I honestly thought we wouldn't, but here we are. No coughing up verbals today. We have water and a load of stuff to probably keep it down. And then one unfortunate thing about this series is the actual storyline. I do think it should have been better. It could have been better a lot. It's more the fact that it's it's Arthur Harrow. I feel shouldn't have been the exact villain. I think it should have been Midnight Man, but for those who don't know, the actor that actually played him, Gabriel Uala something, he died. He died in an accident before it was released. Before it was released. So they only got to film the part where he actually appears, which is the scene where they're trying to find the sarcophagus or something, and where they have that horse fight. Moon Knight and thing have that horse fight. We didn't see a Midnight Man, but I hope that we will see a Midnight Man of some sort later on, because sadly he's passed away, rest in peace. So yeah, that's an unfortunate storyline. Arthur Harrow did propose a bit. I did like the series, do not get me wrong, I did like the series. I do think it had just a bit of a unfortunate storyline due to this thing, but they can't exactly help them dying, sadly. My favourite episode of the whole series was probably... what was the best episode? That's a good question. What was the best episode? I would say the finale was the best episode. To end the way it was ended, it ended quite well. And then the worst episode, probably episode 1, because this is quite common, because you feel it's just beginning and you don't know exactly what's going on. That's understandable why it would feel that way, but then when you have the finale where it closes off everything, that also makes sense why it would be the better one. So yeah. And throughout the series we have these gods. In episode 3, we see them see the gods, right? Yes, that episode. No, episode 4. No, right. I know what my least favourite episode was, and it was episode 4. I remembered what happened in episode 4. The ending was actually okay, but episode 4 was the worst. Because we didn't really get much Moon Knight. We mainly got Stephen Grant and Layla, which, don't get me wrong, but why did you want to have to affect me so much? But throughout the series, you see the gods. In episode 3 especially, they are idiots. Those are really big idiots. I must say, and again, it could have been better improved. They could have been better improved and all that. They're quite stupid. No, he betrayed us, so we're just gonna automatically go with the guy that is more looks evil but is portraying himself as a nice person. So I think we're okay. Then they find out it's like someone's trying to unleash Ahmed, Arthur Harrow. Oh my god. Well done, Sherlock, for cracking the code. Now will someone, like, because this whole story, it seems like they're trying, like, what's his name? Khonshu's trying to redeem himself, and understandable due to someone kind of being a bit of annoying. Yeah, my thoughts on the finale. Oh my god, it's again my favorite episode. It is so good because we see the right reveal for Ahmed. Very good, like costume and the way it's portrayed. How does Ahmed actually look in mythology? Because I want to relate. Because she has I don't know what Ahmed's supposed to look like. She had a crocodile for a head. I can confirm that. Ahmed, Egypt. Yes, there we go. Okay, so it's supposed to be the head of a hippopotamus. No. A head of a crocodile, neck and torso, neck and body lion, and then the torso and legs of a hippo. So then, if we go to Ahmed from Moon Knight, there we go. I'd like kind of the full image, please. I was actually looking into like. The world's first boogeyman. Don't you mean Boogie Woman? Eh? She was a part of the Ennead Council. I didn't even know that. Probably flew over my head. Come on. I would like the gallery, please. Right, I did not see them. Did not see it. Well, it definitely has the head. If you look at the face... No, their neck. Yeah, that's a lion. That's definitely a lion. And there's also a cobra on a weird crocodile lady. That's what they call her. That's quite funny. So, yeah, and then the way they portray the powers when they find the tomb, the staff just goes into her head. And then the other would literally kill someone, which I actually think we see... used against Harrow, who he ends up killing, apparently, right? Or ends up like knocking unconscious or something. Yeah. And then, what was it? Scarlet Scarab, very, very, very good portrayal. Like it's like Tawada is they're like, I've got so many suit ideas, and this is being one of them. Oh yeah, now a falcon. It does not look like a scarab. Like it has the abilities of the scarab we see throughout the story, but does definitely not look like the what you call it? Just looks like a falcon type bird. Which is actually in the UAE, is one of the UAE birds, I think. Right. Now we're here today to, the main question of today is, will there be a Moon Knight Season 2? I don't think they realized the way they ended the series. Because they ended it awfully. They ended it so bad, like, because they say, oh, it's going to be the one and only series of Moon Knight. Why? You have literally just opened a portal to Season 2. Why have you done this? It's the same with, so Hawkeye only has one season. That makes sense, because there is no way to continue it that it left off with. So if you wanted to end it there, you could. But with Moon Knight, we have Jake Lockley here now, who I'm going to assassinate Arthur Harrow with now. What? Why? Why do you intend to... Why do you leave an opening and say it's the only series? That I do not understand. So, yeah, that thought was a bit weird, but hey, here we are. Yeah, I didn't understand that, but it's the series finale. This was at an earlier time, but then I think they saw the comments and all this, and they said season. So meaning series was like the whole like series, but then season is that just specific season. Doesn't mean that they're not gonna make a second one. Hopefully, we're all praying for it. So let's just make it happen, Marvel. Yeah, you have the money for it. So yeah, just do it. As the late Emperor says, do it. Yeah, I thought that season 2 is you could also explore Midnight Man a bit more, and the Midnight Suns. Because now that we have Blade and what's it called, Ghost Rider rumors, and then all these things coming in together, that and Morbius now, because that's now actually a part of the MCU. Like, why can't they do it? Why can't they make a Midnight Suns with what they have got? And they can extend it, because they've actually rumoured a Ghost Rider scene in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the same with Magneto. Why is my phone going off? I never had my ringer on. What? Silent mode on. I never had my ringer on. What? Right. You may be wondering, what was that? Like, I never have my ringer on my phone. Ever. Like, even when I'm recording. Not just because I'm recording, but I just don't have it. I just don't have it on. What? Huh? Confusion I am. Confusion I am. Yeah, okie dokie. That was a bit weird, but hey, here we are. Where were we? Midnight Suns, yes. Midnight Suns, again, they could bring it full circle, because the Jackals kind of, it foreshadowed it, as you can say, because they're like a villain. They're like a villain of, they're like vampires, which Blade are a villain of, and then Jackal are the, like, enemies of, Moon Knight. And then, again, Morbius, it's vampires, but why can't they be a team? That's my question. Why can't they be a team? So, I think that's what they should be doing, but you never know. You just never know. And yeah, right. In the comics, there is an asylum that they see. What's his name? There's an asylum where we see Stephen Grant, which in the comics is actually another asylum where that is real. It got confusing at episode 5, because you never understood what was real and what wasn't. If it was like, I'm hoping that's not how death works, because it looks painful. Well, not painful, just confusing. And I was like, I'd rather die, and I'd just rather die, and you choose whether I go to hell or heaven. I really do not know which one I would go to. Everyone hopes to go to heaven, but sadly, no, not everyone can be forgiven. But anyway, that just got really deep and dark for a second. Let's move on. But the asylum, it is a portrayal of like one's life. It is like a portrayal of one's life, and it's not something. It's like a second chance, really, because if you are given the second chance, because Tara Weddett even says if your souls are balanced, you can go back to the real world or go to heaven. If that's one thing, like when they say the heart's not full, there are two hearts on there. Like, choose between one of them, they should be full by themselves. But hey, I am not a what they call wizard. Coffee, I love it, mainly because that's what I need every day. Yeah, there's a lot of writing on my checklist because there's literally 2 pages full of writing. So where were we? And I have one problem with Disney. It's how short their series are. They're always about 6 episodes. Unless you're talking about She-Hulk, which is said to be 9 episodes. Correct me if I am wrong. She-Hulk. No. Oh, come on. Yeah, She-Hulk attorney by law. Please, we're slowly aging here. Oh, I didn't even know that. So season 1, I just want season 1, that's all I'm asking. Thank you. Oh my god, this thing's annoying me. Yes, so there's 9 episodes in that. Then in, what do you call it? And then there's a new thing called I Am Groot coming out soon. Yes, trust me, I know all this stuff. I Am Groot, yeah. How many episodes in that? Season 1. The picture looks quite funny. 5. What? That's even shorter. Wait. Right, we may have to make a video on that. I'm sad now. Misa's sad. Anyway, well, that's quite disappointing. Well, 6 episodes seems to be more like the normal, because I just don't understand it. Because Loki, I guess that's different because they got so much explored within those episodes. But it's when you drag something out so much, you don't have time to explore other things with this series. So I'm guessing they actually, when they were watching episode 6 and they were filming, they must have thought that maybe making a season 2 was the best idea, because they've really not only extended the storyline, they've also extended the drag. They've dragged it on a bit, so they need more like episodes to actually fill in with a lot of things. And yeah, the comparison to the comics with this series is not, I guess Marvel try and make everything very different, which is technically what you should be doing, but this seems to be very different, because Jake Lockley, yeah, he's a taxi driver, he ain't a killer, he's literally a classic taxi driver. And then you have Mark Spector, who is just a mercenary. I guess that's not that different. The millionaire bit, I was confused about that. It's why would you add him in a museum? Because just because that's an Egyptian art museum doesn't mean it should correlate. And that is one thing that they dragged out. It is one thing they dragged out. And then when it came to the Dylan, when they were going on a date, I didn't understand that bit, because they just dragged on that he's confused. And they also kind of dragged on a bit that he was vegan. I don't think we needed to know that. But hey, here we are. And then, as I said, there's no Midnight Man, Scarlet Scarab. I think that the Scarlet Scarab will definitely be like a main character, along with Moon Knight next season. But here's also why they probably here's another reason why they could have ended the series. If they didn't, they could have ended that series easily if they didn't show that Jake Lockley scene so easily. Because if they said that like they left them as they are, but then they escorted Harrow. If they just deleted that season 1, fine. We only need that season. But no. Then we had Jake Lockley. It's like, hello, here we are. I'm Jake Lockley. So that again, as I said, that's really different, because if you ended it, it's as if they already killed Harrow, but they added in that scene as a comparison to Stephen and Mark and actual Jake Lockley, and throughout the third episode, it was already speculated that we had a third personality when Stephen said that wasn't me, and when we had he's like, that wasn't me either. Then Jake Lockley, and then at the end of episode 4, when they were going through the hallways, there was a third sarcophagus shaking about as if it wanted out, the same as Stephen did when Mark was looking for him. So yeah, the OG Khonshu suit, amazing. I thought it was great, because when you look at the images, it's very similar to that. Oh, my neck is in agony. The soundtrack, there's 2 songs that stood out for me. The trailer song, which was Day and Night. Day and night. All alone, I see a freeze man at night. At night. I do not know the lyrics. Hold on, let's find out the lyrics. Oh, and then there's this song. Actually, I've just started singing it in my head. Every day I wake up, then I start to break up. Lonely is a man without love. Every day I start out, then I cry my heart out. Lonely is a man without love. Yep. Oh, there's more. Every day I wake up, then I start to break up, knowing that it is cloudy above. That's quite cool. Yeah, I like that song. I didn't realise that. How do you say this name? Engelbert Humperdinck. Probably said that wrong, but and then there's Day and Night by Kid Cudi. Who's actually done a song for the new Sonic film called Stars in the Sky. Day and night, what, I toss and turn and keep stressing my... Wait, no, sorry, wrong. Day and night, I toss and turn, I keep stressing in my mind. I look for peace when I see I don't attain. What I need to for keeps... I have way too high of a voice. What I need for keeps the silly game we play. Now look at this. Madness to magnet. It keeps attracting me. I try to run, but see, I'm not that fast. I think I'm first, but certainly finish last. 'Cause day and night, the lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night. He's all alone through the day and night. Day and night. The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. At night. Day and night. Yeah, okay, then there's hold the phone. And there's in this thing, it's when they see the phone in the trailer, it's like, hold the phone. Who's on the phone? The way they edited this song for the trailer is very, very good. I will say that. Now, every episode a review. This is how it will go. We'll have an explanation of why and how things could play out with the information that we have, and then we have the actual reviews of each episode and some more breakdowns. I forgot to mention something about episode 3. Right, in episode 3, right? Yeah, is it episode 3? I remember that. Yes, it is. Right, at the beginning of the episode, when they're fighting these goons, in the guy's jacket, at the back of it, you can see one of the characters has an Immortus, like Kang the Conqueror, Immortus variant on his back. You're like, oh, this must just be like, it can't be true. No, the director's meant to put that in there, because this is actually by Sphinx where this happens, and in his Chronopolis city, he has Sphinx. So that makes perfect sense. So yeah. Now let's go through every episode, shall we? This is where the phone is you needed, because I actually can't use using my book pad. I can't do that. So yeah, I want to say one thing about this summer when I do recordings. I probably won't do a lot of recordings, but you never know. Half the time, I mean, 17. I'm there from the 6th to the 30th of July. So, hold on. I don't know exactly where I'm going, so I do not have plan. I have plans, but I do know where I'm going, so I don't know the plans though. Right, what am I looking for? Right, yes, I do know what I'm looking for. My brain cells are not exactly cooperating right now. We are looking for Moon Knight, Moonest of Night, the series. Why did it put in Moon a Night? What? Jeremy Slater. Very, very nice. Yes, the first episode, The Goldfish Problem. Very weird name. Anyway. So, we have Steve, when Stephen Grant wakes up, it is a... What? I'm confused. So we actually see Stephen Grant when he wakes up first, going to work, but he also removes his ankle restraints and tape from the door, which I find quite weird. No, I found quite weird at first because at the time I didn't know much about Moon Knight. I even stated that in the Moon Knight plots and details, but I was just like, is this man okay? That ain't right. And when he calls his mother every day, and always feeds his pet goldfish. I have the muscle memory, quite good memory, only because it was actually quite a good series. Now, the mother he keeps on calling is actually non-existent, because she is dead. Yep, she died before the series. It was actually before the series' actual plot started, so she died before that actually happened. So why he's doing that, I do not know. But then afterwards, he goes. After feeding his fish and talking to his mother, he goes to the museum, where he talks with this actual girl in the museum, where he goes, I don't remember what she says. It's like, how come are you not there? Well, that doesn't make sense because I have not died, have I? True. I never understood that bit. Like, yeah, I haven't died yet, so... yeah. Where he talks with... this is where he talks with a girl about the ancient Egypt, and his boss, Donna Croft, very mean woman, where it always reminds him, and she's not really nice. She's not really exactly the nicest person. And yeah, then Dylan asks for a stakeout, but he doesn't remember this. So, and in the comics, I believe, what's his name? Jake Lockley's quite like a smooth talker. So, I think that's probably how this is happening, because bearing in mind he does actually exist at the time. Yeah. And it's quite, again, this is one bit they dragged out a bit, was the fact that, and how long they dragged out where he doesn't recall a lot of things, which is with the date of the date. which was the Friday, when it was the Sunday. Yeah. And then during the night, he has that's just the that's Austria. I'm confused. He goes and solves puzzles. This is literally kind of a breakdown, I guess you could say. So he goes and solves puzzles, and then when he falls asleep, he regains his consciousness in Austria, without memory of how he got there. Then this mysterious voice that ends up being Alconshu is asking him to give his body back to Mark. Then he runs into Arthur Harrow, seeing him take the ever-living life out of this woman. And he asks for the scarab. He tries to give it to them, but Khonshu's denied. Then they go on for a bit of a fight and all this, and it doesn't work. He ends up killing quite a lot of people. Then after the day, he gets super annoyed, and then he goes to this fish place, thinking he didn't have a fin before. Why does he have a fin now? Confusion? Question mark. Then on that day, because he's now annoyed, and after all this, he goes and sees a phone where he's the contact called Layla. He calls him back, "What's wrong with you, Mark? Oh my God, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark? Why'd you call me Mark?" That's actually not a bad impression of him. Then he goes back to the museum the next day and meets Harrow, where he kind of threatens him. He goes again that night to find these jackals, and he fights one in the toilet. He goes "I'm gonna die. Then he goes into this this toilet. And then he becomes Moon Knight as the label on the screen. And it is very cool. It is very, very cool. So, then, on with the show. Summon the Suit is the next episode. Next morning, Stephen Grant wakes up, as he normally does. Not only is he chained to his bed, but he's also terrified again. And he sees his reflection, and he tries to ask it to come out, but it never does. And he goes back to the National Art Gallery to see he is fired for literally breaking the toilet, because that is what is shown in the CCTV, sadly. Then he goes to this what's it called? Come on. It's his storage box. That's the one. Oh my God. I don't remember that. He goes to the storage box he found in his flat, where he arrives, and he recognizes one of the codes, and he gets into his own one where he sees a gun. He sees a bag full of guns, different currencies, and etc. He finds a load of this. I'd be terrified too if I found this in my storage box. That called for a drink. I don't know why, but it just did. Then you have so when he goes and finds various currencies, he also finds the golden scarab, which we see from this last episode, and he finds an American passport with the name Mark Spector, who is identical to Grant. Oh wait, because he is the same person after all, suffering from dissociative identity disorder. For those of you who don't know, dissociative identity disorder is a disorder where you're multiple people. You're multiple people in the brain, yet you look like the same person. I'm not going to get too deep into it because it is quite depressing and sad, I guess you could say. And then he's in his reflections, he sees Mark, which is proven in the first episode, where he goes like, "I'm gonna die," and then he goes, "You're not gonna die." So he says, I'm the avatar of Khonshu. It's like, are you some kind of agent? It's a bit more important than that. Do you want to know who I really am? I'm the avatar of Khonshu. What? Yep. The Egyptian god of the moon. And he has a deal with the deity and is still with Grant in the body as well. And Spectre Mark keeps on asking for control over the body, and Grant refuses, because if I had a mind and someone else said I would like control when it was just myself, I'd be like, no. I no. And then when he refuses, he runs off with the bag. Then he sees this Khonshu, like he did in the first episode, in a elevator, where he sees, and this Khonshu turns into this old woman. This old woman leaves, and then he turns around, and then he sees a big beak being Khonshu. He's always beaking into other people's business. Yep, that was bad. That was... Then, conveniently, he when he trips over the road, he runs into Layla Al-Fawley, his Mark Spector's wife, who later in the series, Stephen gathers feelings for, and eventually, like, Mark's like, you kiss her, I will kill you. And then Stephen ends up kissing her, and he's just like, oh. He just it makes him punch himself. It's quite weird because she's apparently talking about a divorce that Mark's there. Like, he was like, I know I've been trapped in here and I look at everything. I don't remember that at all. Trying to cover up his own mess. Lol, imagine trying to do that. And then Grant is informed by these people called Bobby Kennedy and Billy Fitzgerald. Yep, these people, very naughty, very not nice people. And then he gets taken to where Arthur Harrow's cult is. Then reveals he used to be the former avatar for Harrow, and Harrow is and Khonshu's trying to actually ask Stephen to kill Harrow, which he isn't. So they have some nice soup, and Moon Knight comes out again. No, he goes, summon the suit. Then Mr. Knight comes out, Mr. Snazzy Pansy, very nice person, like Mr. Snazzy, very cool, and it's quite a cool suit. And then it's just like, this is one of my favorite lines. It's like, one, yes. Made my day. And then he goes, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My name's Stephen with a V. Foreshadowing, callbacking to how Stephen Strange, he's spelt with PH. So that's what that's calling back to. And Mark is all there like, you may want to give me more control so we can actually get this jackal to go away. Then he gives control, and Mark says, I'll give it straight back. Yeah, he doesn't. So then they head to Egypt, where it's obvious he has been drinking and doing a lot. Yeah, he's just mainly been drinking. And now, episode 3. Episode 3. Right, here we are. And now they need this. Now that they have the Scarab of Ahmed, which is Arthur, and which Arthur has it, he's trying to find the tomb in Cairo. Which I must say, Cairo looks like a very nice place, very, very nice. And oh my god, these yawns are really really annoying me. What was it? They're trying to find Ahmed's tomb, and he hunts down the disciples. Disciples? What the heck? Oh, you could just have said the cult. That may have made it a bit easier. Because just then I would know what you're talking about. That would just make it a lot easier, as I said. Well, that is confusing. So then this is the point where the gods are summoned by Khonshu's talking, where they go into the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is who Stephen Grant is fangirling over in this, and he goes, what does he say? I have news, blah, 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 blah. And because in the last episode, Layla is left in London or somewhere, I don't know. He goes, right, we're going to Cairo, boys, because that's where he thinks he goes, and ends up, what do you know? He's in Cairo. So yeah, then she goes to find this tomb. What? Oh, then is that the tomb? Yep, hold it. So they're trying to find the tomb of Zenfu. Zenfu fighting. Because Yatsul from the Iliad Council has asked him to do that. And yeah. And then they go to see the Senfu. They go to see Senfu's thing, which is actually at Anton Mogart's, who is played by Gabriel Ulliel. And then they actually end up fighting. And in this episode, it's revealed that not Khonshu. What's his name? Mark is not telling Layla everything, and that the dissociative identity disorder's gone worse since they last spoke. And yes. Anton Mogart and him have a fight. It's like, I would like the body. And he goes, are you alright? Right? That's it, everyone. Everyone here, let's just chill the F out. He doesn't even say the F word. He just says, right, everyone, let's just chill the F out and let's talk about this, okay? And then he just gets stabbed and he goes, take the body back. That's one of my favorite scenes. They finally get the papers and then they staple it and go to a desert for the coordinates that they need from 2,000 years ago. But oh wait, Khonshu, you can do that, right? Oh wait, no, I just voted for you to do that. So I'm gonna do that because you're my best friend. We're best friends. So Khonshu just literally turns the moon back, and Arthur's there like, you have made a big mistake. You are a disappointment with the Iliad. Which literally he makes that, the Selim or Osiris makes that very clear throughout the whole thing. I can just imagine I don't think they know that they have avatars, but just like, oh yeah, my body's been taken over by a god, I'm fine with that. So yeah, I found that quite funny. Okie dokie. Now, on with the show. The next episode, my least favorite episode of the whole thing. Episode 4. Okay. Stephen Grant succeeds in pinpointing the location of Ahmed's tomb. Thank you, Khonshu. So they go and try and find it. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Because they have now done this. They've now put him. What's it called? They turned the night back. Khonshu is now set in stone because he had one final warning. It's like when you're a child and you have one final warning, or you're sent in the naughty corner. Just setting in stone is basically the naughty corner in this universe. So, yes, fun. And now in his famous white jacket, because we're still on the Moon Knight thing, they go down a dig site where they find these. Are these what I think they are? Yep, called it. These Hika priests, which are very creepy, terrifying, and look like they were eating things, like eating body parts. Okay. Okay. Just trying to reposition myself because this review of this whole season seems to be getting a bit long. We're only 50 minutes in as well. LOL. I should really stop saying that. Anyway. And throughout this episode you see that Layla's like, you're very different from Mark. But I like that about you. And Mark gets very annoyed about that. I would as well. Then he finds out that the tomb is within Alexander the Great. I did not understand that bit one bit whatsoever. Mainly because I do not know anything about what is it? I just don't know anything about Enneads and Egyptian culture. I barely know anything about my own culture, or like the Jesus or Poseidon, Zeus. I very rarely know anything about that. So Egyptian thing is literally a foreign language to me. When they find the Alexander the Great, Layla Al Fawli questions him like, "Did you kill my father?" Of course not. But I was in the team, sadly. He was killed by the partner, who was also named Bushman. His name is Bushman, who in the comics is actually a bad guy to Moon Knight. He could be a possible person for next season if they actually keep him dead, because there's no actual image, so you know the Marvel rule, no corpse, no death. So he finds the Ushapti in Alexander the Great, and Ushapti is basically what Khonshu was set in stone in. He is now an Ushapti, and yes. And then he gets shot by this. I don't know what gun it is. It's a very old gun. It's like what I don't know what it was. They die, and then they wake up in the Putnam Psychiatric Hospital, where these are the characters that we see. We see Al Fawli, Layla. We see Bertrand Crawley, who is like one of his good street mates, who is painted in gold, and you see Bertrand Crawley and Donna Croft, and who are patients in this alongside being the same. And Mark Spector is watching his favourite movie, Tomb Buster, with his favourite character, Stephen Grant. When that scene started, I honestly thought that was Arthur Harrow for a minute. So, Stephen Grant is the protagonist of the Tomb Buster film, so whoopee. Then, and Arthur Harrow actually is the main psychiatric for Mark Spector, conveniently. The difference between this and then the end of the season, he gets shot. The patient gets shot. So I guess he's somewhat civilized. Then Grant walks around the hospital to find his wrong person. Mark goes around the hospital to find Stephen. When they find Stephen, they open a door and come face to face with Taweret, a hippopotamus who is the god of healthcare and facility. Facilitation? What? Bear with me. Goddess of women and children. That's her title, apparently. So, wait, is she possessed Salem's body at one point? Did I just not pay attention to that? Then obviously may calm me while she is possessing Layla Al Fawli's body. Yes, big brain. Right, now, episode 5! We're now on episode 5, finally. episode 5, where we see a lot of Tarweta with a big hippopotamus. Anyway, so because they're startled by Tarweta is also startled, and then when they actually talk, Mark Spector finds himself back in Arthur Harrow's office. Now, I would like to say that scene, I don't think that was Arthur Harrow. No, wrong. I don't think that was Mark Spector or Stephen Grant. Because if you hear the voice that they use, it's like, I think I'm really good, Doc. I think you've really cured me here. And he immediately goes to try and kill Arthur Harrow. Sorry, excuse me. They go to try and find. He goes to try and kill Arthur Harrow, which we see throughout the series. Arthur Harrow and Jake Lockley's more the person to kill a lot of people. So it's only that scene they use that. What? That was weird. That was weird. I'm gonna just hope that you ignored that. That was weird. Why did it do that? I do not know. Because obviously this is just the thumbnail that I use throughout it. When someone exposes their secrets on Twitch. Lol. I'm gonna really try and stop using that word. So, when they try and escape, they find out that they're on the boat. They're on a boat with the afterlife world called Duat. Whatever. Then he's what's it called? Throughout this episode, you go through traumatic memories of Mark Spector, including the one where Randall, his little brother, Randall Spector, dies. And yes, he dies. Randall Spector in the comics is actually a bad guy who ends up becoming the bad guy called the Shadow Knight. So yeah, that would have been cool. But he did. He did. He could be in the Field of Reeds right now, or the Sands of Duat. You never know. So yeah, and then we go through an origin story where the statue is talking to him. Yeah, I'd be concerned if a statue was talking to me as well. The statue talks to him, and then he makes him the good guy. Well, then he makes him Moon Knight, calls him Moon Knight then. And then they end up finding out that throughout this time, the gates of Osiris, the hearts haven't balanced, so they have to automatically go to the sands of Duet, where they have to be frozen in time, or in other words, frozen in hell. So they do that. They fight a load of people from these places. And I must say, the mother is not exactly the best person. She's not a nice person, especially after the Randall death. And we found this out in the 5th episode. He is Jewish, because he wears this thing on his head. I don't know what it's called. Oh, what is it called? I don't know what it is, but yeah. Anyway, this is when he actually creates his psyche. At a young age, he creates a psyche where Stephen Grant is the made-up voice. Was the made-up side and all that. And in the Field of Reeds, Spector's all happy in silence, because that's all he wanted in life. All he wanted was silence, while Grant is embedded within the sand. Depression it is. Now, the final episode. Gods and monsters even. Right, and I would like to give Oscar Isaac and Arthur Harrow a very good, Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke a very good. Congratulations, because they were very good in this series, I thought. Very good, and I hope I see them more. And yeah. So, now, let's go to episode 6. Episode 6, at the tomb of Alexander the Great, they find the body, we go back to the body of Mark Spector, and this is where they foreshadow a third, they say, the personalities of Moon Knight. I was going to say Oscar Isaac. The personality of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, whoever else may be in that, sarcophagus, that body. Jeez, I'm really losing my touch. Then after mourning Spectre's death by Layla, she now disguises herself to actually go and find Harrow and kill him, which they don't. Taraweta is trying to possess bodies, telling her what to do from Stephen, because Stephen is actually still alive, going through the Sands of Duet, and the Gates of Osiris bring them back to life. So, lucky them. That's good for them. And then, what was that I was going to say? The dead silence is deafening. Then the Egyptian Patrol Agency, now the staff has actually changed. It sucks the life out of them. And this is what we see at the end of the episode, where Ahmed is sucking everyone's life form, and for all that are bad, and then she turns into a big giant. Right, that's what gave her power and made her a giant. Khonshu is a different story, because I do not know how she is bigger. Oh, he is bigger. He just is. He is just big. Right, now, Mark saves Stephen from the Sands of Duet, and then goes to the Gates of Osiris with a new suit where Moon Knight can fly now. Great. Yes, Moon Knight can fly, and now it is Al-Fawli now gets a new suit, which is the Scarlet Scarab suit, which I think is quite cool. Then in the streets of Cairo, they go fighting, and then he blacks out and then just slaughters everyone very savagely. And yes, very savagely kills everyone. And then Ahmed is fighting Khonshu, and Ahmed loses by the staff of Khonshu. And then we cut to the final scene. Well, actually, Khonshu is like, you've done what I've asked, so I'll let you go now. But then secretly he doesn't, and ends up being the new Jake Lockley. Oh, that was... I'm going to have to do the same for Miss Marvel. Oh my god. At least I have to wait till July for that. Oh my god, I think I need my mouth to rest. But, mark my words, in the next 2 days we will have a new podcast to do with, actually probably be tomorrow. We have Miss Marvel. We have Miss Marvel one, because it has to be tomorrow before the next episode is revealed. Yeah. Then that will be the end of today's review. Oh my god, I've rambled on quite enough today. So tomorrow, I think tomorrow we'll have a Miss Marvel podcast, and then we'll see where we go from there, because those are all the important ones. Right, thank you everyone. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!